Hello, me old muckers, me old people. Hello. Welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name's Jason Newland. Please only listen when you can. Safely close your eyes. And today is Trivia Tuesday. Trivia Tuesday has returned. Yes, laddies and gentlemen, Trivia Tuesday. So today I'm going to focus on weird and wonderful offbeat trivia facts about relaxation. And here's something I researched earlier. I've got a list. I've got 100 things that I'm just going to go through. I thought that'd be quite a good subject to talk about because that's something we've all got in common. We all like to relax. You wouldn't be listening to this unless you did like to relax. And I've got to tell you something though. I don't know if you know, I study chronic pain and I study, that's just an interest I've had for, blimey, over 2 decades, since 1999, and so 2.5 decades. I was listening to a lecture because the good thing, I've got some books on the subject, and YouTube is full of lectures from actual specialists, universities, things like that. And so I listened to probably a couple of hours a day worth of lectures, talks and stuff on chronic pain and, how it works and how it could be changed. And, so this recording isn't about that, but I thought I'd mention it because I'm a little bit excited. Tomorrow, I'm going to do two things I'm going to do tomorrow if I'm up to it. I'm going to do a deep sleep whisper hypnosis. I'm also going to do Let Me Bore Your Pain Away. But it's going to be focused on safety. Because there's a concept that actually, with chronic pain, it's a danger signal. It's not a pain signal, it's a danger signal. So it sends a danger signal to your brain. Your brain checks it and acts accordingly for that part of the body that may be causing problems. And when you feel safe, the safer you feel, or the safer that part of your body feels, the better it feels, the more relaxed it feels. Because obviously, feeling relaxed, feeling in danger, you're not going to be relaxed if you feel in danger. Right? Yes, obviously. When you're feeling safe, I guess it's like a little baby. They might feel danger because there's no one around. They might wake up and where's mummy? Where's daddy? Where's grandma? Whatever. But as soon as they see the person that they love, that they bonded with, like, oh, or maybe it might just be a cat, it might be their dog. Where's Vinny? Where's Vinny? And they feel safe again. So there's that, so it's kind of like that. So I'm going to focus on that and see what pops out of my weird mouth. And I'm probably going to do a body scan with the deep sleep whisper. Also, I don't know why, but I seem to have got back into a bit of a rhythm. Rhythm is a dancer. I do think that the dance hits of the 90s, that for me, they were some of the best dance hits. And the reason I say that is because I've never really been into dance music. I like the Bee Gees, Michael Jackson, some of that stuff, and I had to play dance music when I was a DJ. But I've never really been into it. And I was more disco anyway, called like "Come On Eileen" and "Do Do 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 Do." Wham! That was. But in the 90s, there was some proper popping songs. Popping. Not relative to this recording, but then what is? I'd like to say, before I start, a big thank you to quite a few comments. I wasn't really fishing for comments, I was. But first of all, I'd like to say thank you to Julia. Thank you for your generous PayPal gift and your kind words that you sent as well. Thank you very much. Also, thank you to Paul from a week ago. So I didn't post anything on there, but I did send a thank you, and I've sent a thank you to Julia as well. So thank you. I posted a comment on Facebook on my Jason Newland's boring group, just saying, have my latest recordings been useful? The reason I did that is because I've been doing a few more different types of stuff lately. I'll give you an example. I've been doing the Let Me Bore You to Sleep a lot more regular. I've also been doing Let Me Bore Your Pain Away more then. And I did Let Go of Your Anger. Sort of like I've been doing some standalone stuff as well, which is still the same type of format. It's not like standard, I don't know, hypnosis-y stuff. It's more just me talking, if that makes any sense. So I also did a Let Me Bore Your Anxiety Away the other day. So yeah, I've done a few different types of things, and I did a Monday's Boring Objects yesterday. Talked about homes that I've lived in. So I mean, I suppose I should just get on with the recording, but I don't know. I know that I can't always. I try and, having a routine. I'm trying to get a routine going with these recordings, the videos, the podcasts, and it's not always that easy, to be fair. But I'm giving it a go. Q&A Friday's definitely been a regular now. I've been doing it for, blimey, 8 months, 9 months. You can hear Vinny in the background chomping away on a burn. And I'm thinking maybe to go back to doing the Monday's Boring Objects again on Mondays, and then Trivia Tuesdays. I don't know, I quite enjoy doing the Trivia Tuesdays because they're just random silly things. And then Sunday Summary seems to be fairly popular. That's basically when I just sum up the week that I've had. I didn't do one this Sunday just gone, but I did do one the Sunday before, and that had on YouTube it's had quite a few views. So by the way, Monday's Boring Objects, 2 hours long. Wow, that's a lot of chomp chomp chap chap chipping jobbing, isn't it? That's a lot. So I just want to read out some comments that I've got. just to say thank you, because it's been lovely. So I just, that's why I asked if kind of if the latest kind of stuff is being useful, because it might seem from the outside of people that don't watch or listen regularly, it might seem that I'm just doing this to entertain myself, just for my own amusement, but I'm actually not. Maybe. So Ben answered, don't know I'm asleep, so that's cool. Susan says, I can't sleep without you. Thank you so much for your help. You're wonderful. So thank you, Ben and Susan. I did reply to all of them, I think. Jenny says, thanks, Jason. I watched the Let Go of Anger just now on YouTube, and it was really helpful. Cool. Thank you, Jenny. Christine says, hi, Jason. I watched the Let Go of Anger, and it clicked for me. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. The Let Go of Anger one is... I don't know how to explain it, really. I try and tap into... Get into the... I don't know if it's the groove or whatever. I kind of know roughly what I want to talk about. And then I just put trust in my own mind to come up, my unconscious mind or whatever, to come up with the right, correct words. So, you know, I'm not reading off a script. I didn't know what I was going to say. I probably had an idea. I mean, no, I did have an idea because I was going to focus on sounds and, you know, saying certain things and that. So I had an idea before I started, but I didn't know how it was going to go. But, you know, sometimes even when I've got an idea before I start, I just end up talking about something completely different. You may not find that hard to believe. Michelle says, they bore me to sleep. Thank you. Hilary says, definitely I have to say I prefer the ones where you do not make up a lot of stuff. Okay, Hilary, thank you. I'm not quite sure what you mean by where I don't make up a lot of stuff. Is that kind of... It's kind of everything I do in a way, kind of. I don't know. I'm not sure which ones... Because I do make a lot of stuff up. Yeah. See, I'm not quite sure which ones you mean when you say that. Because when I do the boring objects, I generally... If I talk about my life, I generally stick to the truth. No, it's not that I lie, but I do, you know, add a little bit of salt and vinegar and sprinkling a cheese on top, you know, just to make it mildly interesting, if at all possible. Maria says, oh, most definitely, thank you. All of your podcasts are funny. Thank you. And helpful in getting me to sleep. I particularly like the short 10-minute relaxation recording. It's something that you can fit into any time of day. You're brilliant and you really make a difference. Maria, I agree with every single word you said. I agree with everything everyone said. Thank you. I did actually... See, Maria, you inspired me to make a new recording today, which is what I did. So I did I've got no idea what it's called, but I did a recording today, a new one, earlier today, which was, I'll tell you in a minute when I finish these messages. Molly says, going to watch the Let Go of Anger today, sounds like it was made for me. And what did I reply there? It has some weird parts, and Molly says, don't we all? Ooh. Not me, well, okay, maybe me. Robin says, bore me to sleep also. Thanks, Jason. Thank you, Robin. Julia says, every one of your Let Me Bore You to Sleep that I've heard has been helpful. Some are quite funny, and all put me to sleep. Thank you. P.S. I'm not a fan of the whispering ones, but just my personal taste. Haven't tried the others, but I plan to listen to the anger one. Thank you. Yeah, that's the thing. Is in a way, And I've tried to kind of go down the route of just one particular thing. But unfortunately, whenever I kind of not stray off course, but go towards one thing, I get messages asking me to do the things that I used to do. So whenever I stop doing Deep Sleep Whisper, I get people asking me for Deep Sleep Whisper. Whenever I start doing Deep Sleep Whisper, I have people telling me they don't really like Deep Sleep Whispers. I try, and it's kind of a bit of a juggling act, if you know what I mean. And the recordings I enjoy doing the most are the chatty type ones, like this, like the Let Me Bore Your Pain Away, the Let Me Bore You to Sleep. But then in the same way, the Let Go of Anger, that was a chatty one as well. So that was just exactly the same as this, but focused on a specific thing. So it's more focused than this is, although this is going to be quite focused because I'm going to have a list of 100 trivia facts that I'm going to read out. So it's quite focused in that way. But a lot of my Let Me Bore You to Sleep's not so focused. So I quite like, I kind of like the idea of, so with the Let Me Bore Your Pain Away, I know that it's about focusing on reducing chronic pain. So I know that, and I do keep coming back to that. And I think that's quite good for my little brain, because it activates me a bit to, I don't know what, to do something, to think maybe, to be creative, but in a perhaps a more useful way, a more specific way. However, I would say that even though I do the Let Me Bore Your Pain Away, Let Me Bore Your Anxiety Away, all kinds of things like that, the Let Me Bore You to Sleep is just as useful, can be just as useful, because it's relaxing, it's calming, it's peaceful, it's friendly, it's calm. I think it's just as useful. It can just have just as much, if you feel safe, you feel calm, you feel relaxed. It's just the difference is I don't focus on, because that's the weird thing about it, really. Because even though this is Let Me Bore You to Sleep, how often do I ever even mention sleep outside of the title? I don't. I rarely mention relaxing. Pretty much never. But with the chronic pain, Let Me Bore Your Pain Away, I do focus on that topic. I try not to say the word too much once I've started, but it is, I focus on the subject and focusing on a part of the body which can then change, reduce, feel different. So yeah. There was a reason why I started that sentence, but I couldn't tell you what it was. Marge, absolutely. I just wish I could stay awake to listen to the whole episode, but I guess that's the name of the game. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Thank you, Marge. I said Marge. It might be Marg. Sorry, M-A-R-G. So either Marge or Marg. Thank you. Cindy says, absolutely, Jason. I listen to you every night. Can't go to sleep without you. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So that's all the messages there. I've got a couple of messages on my YouTube. So Christine, for my monthly boring, Monday's boring objects, Helms. Christine says, that was the most unboring one to date. Thanks, Jay. I think that was a compliment. I hope so. That's the thing with words. I can't tell. Because you can't... I'm better with tones of voices. If someone says something on the phone, I can generally get what they're saying, what mood they're in, what, you know, is, and it's the same with me. That's why I don't text people, because I don't necessarily come across great in a text. Vanessa says, OMG, Jason, it's great to find you here again. No, great to find you again. Bore me to sleep. Sending love from Nova Scotia, Canada. I wonder if you remember me. So Vanessa's someone that used to listen to me in the past. So hi, Vanessa. Or used to watch my videos. So maybe, I've had a few people that have left comments over the years. I remember a couple of years ago I had someone post a message saying that they'd been listening to me since 2008. And I've been watching my YouTube videos since 2008. Even though I've not really been very active on YouTube for a long time, until recently. And my old YouTube channel's well gone for over a decade. Christine Leach, I sang along and my anger left. Thank you. That's on Let Go of Anger Fast. Let Me Bore You to Sleep, Q&A Friday. John says genius. Well, thank you. My Sunday summary. June says new sub, menopausal woman here. Decided this morning to stop my sleep meds. Hate them. Was actually watching a live trial from across the pond, and you were recommended underneath. We'll pop a playlist on this evening. You may well have been sent my way. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I said thank you, but I don't know what the live trial was. So this is a couple of days back. It was 6 days ago. Lady Rabbit says, love your hairy head. This is, I visited the world 7 days ago. Let me bore you to sleep. Thank you. I'm happy to be able to offer you the gift of enjoying my scalp, was my response. And the next one's relax. Oh, relax your pain. Okay, the power of relaxation. That was a Let Me Bore Your Pain Away, number 13, 7 days ago. Darby says, I fell asleep, didn't even know it. Okay. I'm not going to read all that out because I think I read it out before, because that's why I ended up, that was the reason I did my next recording, I think. Hi Jason, this is ASMR Relax in 10 minutes. Hi Jason, I'm currently listening to your podcast. Sunday summary, the fart heard from miles away. I heard you're asking for listeners' ages and locations. Okay. You know, apparently that one of my recordings has a big fart in it. It must be Vinny, of course. But I couldn't figure out where it was. So is it in the Sunday summary? No wonder it's got so many views. People want to keep listening to the fart. Maybe it was me. Maybe it's Vinny. So on YouTube, I've got 1,529 subscribers. So it's still small, still, early days really. But I feel quite good that I've stuck with it, stuck with the videos. It's hard really when I'm getting such small amounts of views. But hey, the last time I got a decent number of views was the last ASMR Deep Sleep Whisper one I did, which was on the 10th of March. And the one before that was ASMR on the 8th of March. And the one before that was 6th of March, ASMR Body Scan Deep Sleep Whisper. And then before that, 3rd of March, ASMR Counting Down to Sleep, Deep Sleep Whisper. So basically, only the Deep Sleep Whispers that really get any kinds of views on YouTube. The others still get views, but just not many really. Anyway, I'm just going to keep going, keep at it, see what happens, and keep the wagon rolling, as it were. Right, so here's the 100. Just trying to. Oh, really? Dropping stuff on the floor. Nap like a koala. Koalas sleep up to 22 hours a day. 22 hours a day. Maybe that's why. Maybe that should be my spirit animal. Koala. So I just let you know, I've used ChatGPT to get these 100 things. They might not be correct, so please don't use me as a quote. Don't use this information to create a new life somewhere. It might all, some of it might be wrong. That's what I'm saying. So I take no responsibility for incorrect information. Polar bears. Polar bears sometimes snooze for short periods between seal hunts. Blimey. So that's a bit weird. Mind you, I suppose polar bears are pretty good at swimming, aren't they? Maybe they get on the ice and they have a little nap, and then, yeah, maybe. The ancient bathhouse hangout in ancient Rome. Okay, so I'm just trying to think, why are these talking about relaxing, sleeping? I'm just thinking wasn't supposed to be about animals. So the ancient bathhouse hangout, because I was thinking that's not about animals. Then I realised this isn't about animals. In ancient Rome, people went to public baths for a soak, a sweat, and some gossip. So it was kind of like the earliest social club in the world. Did you know, wow, popping bubble wrap to relax is so popular that there's a bubble wrap appreciation day last Monday in January. There is something quite satisfying about popping bubbles or bubble wrap. Yeah, I used to, yeah, I do like a bit of bubble wrap, to be honest. Vinny likes a bit of bubble wrap. Andre used to go nutty over some bubble wrap. Really, he just couldn't get enough of it. Loved the sound. Library. So researchers found that listening to the ambient hum. So I don't use the word ambient enough. Ambient. Researchers found that listening to the ambient hum of a library can be more relaxing than total silence. I mean, some people don't really like total silence. I like it. I love silence. In fact, I'm not that bothered about total silence. I'm not bothered even if it's windy outside. Not a big fan of like bass music shaking the building. I don't find that very conducive to relaxation. But I don't mind that. I mean, I can't do that with Vinny because I have to have something playing for the first couple of hours until he's asleep, like proper asleep, and then nothing disturbs him unless someone knocks on the door or something like that. Warm milk myth. People swear by warm milk before bed, but it's not scientifically proven to make you sleep. The thing is, it doesn't have to be scientifically proven. If it works, it works. That's the bottom line, I think. I mean, I've got a friend that sort of goes on about, oh, cheese, eating cheese, whatever, before sleeping has an effect. And like, not to me. You know, cheese doesn't affect me. So we're all different, aren't we? And if warm milk, I've never been a big fan of warm milk, to be honest. On its own, it's just not really. Not really. I mean, it's got to be much more conducive to sleeping than, you know, a can of Coke or Red Bull or something like that, obviously. But yeah, I think maybe it's the baby thing, maybe it's the warm milk, maybe it's, let's face it, the only time I've ever had warm milk, really, well, I probably didn't, but I mean, babies have warm milk when they're born, don't they? They have warm milk and stuff, whether out of the tap or out of a bottle. And I've never really been into warm milk, even. I mean, technically, I used to be into lattes, coffee lattes, so frothy milk and stuff. Not anymore, but I used to be into that. But yeah, if I have a coffee, which I don't drink coffee anymore, but if I was, it'd have to be just a little bit of milk, and definitely not enough to create a skin on top. No, didn't like that. Never liked that. And even tea, when I drink tea, a tiny little bit of milk in the tea, just enough to make it not. I feel like just enough to make it not without milk, I suppose. Just a dash, a little bit. Okay, sloths are so chill. Is this aimed at? I think I've never used that expression. I'm so chill, man. So chill. Sloths are so chill that they only come down from trees once a week to do a poo. Their slow pace is okay. They're adding their own material in there, but once a week. I had a girlfriend once that said that she only did a poo once a month. Do you want a name? I'm not going to tell you a name. I believed her. I don't think it's true, because I don't think that would be possible, would it? Once a month? Blimey. I do multiple times. Anyway, let's just move on from that. Foot rubs in ancient Egypt. So ancient Egypt's revered foot massages. There's evidence of reflexology on tomb walls dating back thousands of years. So I know about that anyway, because I studied reflexology. I did 2 courses on reflexology in the past. And yeah, it's kind of based upon that. And all to do with nerve endings, and, you know, the body's mapped out on the bottom of the feet, or the feet, you know, but it's not just that, it's just the toes, and it's the same with the palms. It's kind of mirrored. So if I remember rightly, that's the thumb. Oh dear. That tickled me for some reason. I think that's the head, and that would be kind of the spine, I think, or whatever. I don't know. I remember this being quite a relaxing thing. So do that. If you want to see where I'm doing it, just between your finger and your thumb, that bit there, just gently massage. It's quite relaxing. It's a relaxing way to calm down. Do it on both. The problem is, when I was doing this back in 2003, I overdid it a bit and I got very bruised, and it was no longer relaxing. It was just painful. But, you know, back in those days, I was researching every single possible way that I could reduce my anxiety. I was trying to just increase my relaxation, and I tried everything. acupuncture. Well, I didn't try everything, obviously, but I tried a lot of things. Reflexology, massage. Never did Indian head. I have had an Indian head massage, but I never did it at that time. Acupuncture, exercise. Exercise is good. Do you know what? Vinny had me running around the park earlier. So he was on the lead and he decided to run. So I thought, okay, every now and then I will just run with him. And he ran all the way around the park. And I didn't really get out of breath. Weird, isn't it? I mean, even 30 years ago, okay, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, if I'd have done that dash, I'd have been coughing for about an hour. 30 years ago. But now, just, yeah, weird. I guess I'm just super healthy. Ooh, relaxation room. Some Japanese offices have designated napping rooms where employees can grab a nap. So I've had jobs where I did that, grabbed a nap. I remember one job, it was in a factory I worked. And there was a bloke there and he was so popular. Everyone liked him. All the management loved him. He was a bit of a drinker, but they knew that and they just loved him because he was friendly and they, he was lovely. But unfortunately, there was the people that owned the company were doing an inspection. So there was all these bigwigs with their ties on and stuff, with their white coats, to keep themselves nice and tidy and clean. And them days, even then we had health and safety and stuff. And they came round and they found him in the ticket cupboard, the label cupboard, asleep, right at the top. And the management couldn't do anything about it. They had to sack him because, the people at the top from the headquarters had caught them. See, it's like, why would you choose now to do that? So I've done it as well. I don't think I did do it after that, but it was all right. It was this, we always had a lookout. I used to do, oh man, I remember once, wow, I'd forgotten about this. When I was in a call centre, the second call centre, I was on the sales floor. So that, I was still on the sales floor at this point. And they could always see how long we was away from the phone. So we had to log out of the phone every time we left. So that way the phone call wouldn't come through to that empty phone. If that makes sense. So they didn't lose customers. So when we went to the toilet, had a tea break, lunch break, whatever, or, left for the day, we had to log out. Sometimes I'd forget, but generally you had to do that. And they could also see what time you log in as well. And the management was just doing their thing. There was a assistant manager and a manager, sales manager. And they were busy. And then one of them noticed that one of my colleagues, one of the salespeople, was missing. It's like, where's Charlie? I don't know if that was his name. Where's Charlie? And they were asking, where's Charlie? Oh no, I went to the toilet. Okay. But he's been gone an hour and a half. He fell asleep. He literally fell asleep and he came back and he was like, He looked absolutely shattered. He looked like he'd been properly, I don't know how you fall asleep on a toilet if he was sober. I don't know how we did that. But yeah, he was completely. Because I went down and went to get him, and they found him asleep. He didn't even get in trouble. They found it hilarious. So that's good. Good for him. So another time this is not really related, but it's related, but not to do with sleeping. I really got on well with this bloke. He was one of these people that gets on with everyone, because not everybody used to talk to me in that place, especially at the beginning. He was just nice. He was one of the top sellers right from the start. He was on the top sellers table, and he put no effort in. He was actually doing, I think, a university course in mathematics while he was at work. He'd just be doing his coursework while he was at work. And he just answered the phone, and it was easy for him. But he was also super nice to everyone. And I don't know why I'm telling you that bit, but he was, I liked him. I only saw him once after I left. I saw him in this town, funny enough, because that was when I lived in a different town. And it was shortly afterwards. It was like, probably a year, so still remembered me. But it's a long time now. Wouldn't recognise me now, I don't think. I had hair back then. And I was a little bit younger. And I wasn't wearing this green shirt. I just realised I'm peeling the bits off of this chair. Peeling bits off of the handrail rest thing. Yeah. I'm just wondering if this is actually picking up the thing. Oh, did I tell you the other day I did a recording and the batteries for the microphone cut out, so I missed I only got half of the recording. That was annoying. So what was I going to do? Yeah, so he came back again, same sort of situation. Does anyone know where Ralph is? I don't know if that was his name, Ralph. Anyone know where Ralph is? And I said, he was in the pub, because I used to go to the pub opposite. So okay, or he was in a bookies or something like that. So I think I was sitting next to him at this point, so I kind of noticed he wasn't there as well. But I hadn't been out to lunch with him. He turns up a good 2 hours late from lunch, and he walked. It's amazing, honestly. He walked up to the manager's desk, because my desk was literally just near there as well, so I could hear everything it was saying. Walked up to the manager's desk and said, I won't lie to you, I was gambling. I was on a fruit machine, and I thought I was going to win. But I didn't win. I lost everything. But I thought I was going to win. And that honesty, again, they laughed, because the honesty, there was no made up story. It was just, he didn't get a disciplinary, nothing. And if he'd have done that at Churchill, where I used to work before that, wow, that would have been a disciplinary, very likely sack, But with this place, they were a lot more lenient. The only way to really get sacked was to not sell. For the people that didn't sell much, they would be laid off. But if you made a few mistakes, it's fine. As long as you sold, that was the main thing. At the time, anyway. But the place did shut down, so I don't know how successful that working model was. But yeah, when I was a security guard, I used to go for naps, because I was doing night shift. I said that like you should know that. I was doing night shift. Not all the time. I had lots of different... I've never talked about my security jobs, I don't think. Not really gone in depth. Maybe that's Monday's boring objects. Because I forget sometimes all the different places I went to. I'm thinking about it now. And Canary Wharf, nurse's home. Then I was at a printer's. Then I was at Covent Garden. Then I was at a former asylum, the grounds surrounding an asylum, a former asylum, like I think it's Europe's biggest mental hospital, it was called at the time, in North London. Massive, massive place. I was also working in Middlesex hospitals, some of the closed, empty hospitals. Spooky. I also worked in a bookies, a betting shop. Now this was the weirdest one. Right, this place was known for being rough, and it was on this bookies, this betting shop. I'm gonna say bookies. That's what I'm used to calling it. I think it was next to a pub on a council estate. It was literally a shop, probably a post office / like newsagents, groceries, and probably a laundrette, a pub and a bookies, and probably a chip shop or something, like a takeaway kebab shop or something. And that was all there was on the estate. And there was just loads of like tower blocks. This isn't London, so there's loads of this. I think it was in East London, I think. I don't remember exactly where. But I get there and I get taken there off of my other place, because I was on a I think I was in North London, and it was North London. That was where the big huge asylum place was. That's what it's called back then. And we had 2 people on, so they took me off of that site to go and do one shift at this bookies. And basically what my job was to stand there and be security for all these rough people that were drunk and gambling. And I was there until I think 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And it was weird because they were making fun of me, but I was just joining in, because they were saying stuff like, what are you going to do if we get out of hand? What are you going to do? I said, nothing. I'll probably join in. It's like they couldn't believe I was saying stuff like that. I said, yeah, but you're here to make sure that we behave. I said, I don't care what you do. I said, do you know how much I'm getting paid? Like, getting paid like £4 an hour or £5 an hour or something. Like, you think I'm going to put myself in danger for that amount of money? I don't think so. I said, I just have to be here. That's all I have to do. So I'm not making enemies of anyone in here, because I've got to leave out the same door that you've got to leave out of. And and they just like, oh, okay. They didn't know what to make of me, because I think some security guards would give it the big one. They'd go in there and show a bit of authority, because I knew I was only there for one night or one day. I think it was like probably, it's the end of my shift, so probably I was there from about 4 till 9 or so, I don't know, something like that. I had to make my own way home though, of course. And it was weird. It's almost like it's like the pub emptied, everyone came in just to look at me. And I said, why? Why are you making such a big deal? And they said, because of what happened to the last one. I said, what? What do you mean? And they said, well, There's a reason you're here, isn't there? I said, well, yeah, because my security patrol person brought me here. He said, yeah, but because the other one's not here today, is he? He's in hospital. And I'm like, oh, really? What have I stepped into? But I couldn't be bothered. It's like, okay. I was ready to walk out if I had to, because this wasn't worth it. But luckily, I didn't have to go back. I didn't want to do that. That was just, it's not my crowd. It's not, I'm not into gambling, not into really being around pubs and stuff. And it's, it's not good. It wasn't really my scene. My skein. It was my skein. But then there was another place where, and I didn't want to do this at all, because part of working at Middlesex Hospital is they also looked after the emergency ward, the casualty, now called A&E. Being in London, in the centre of London, Middlesex is in the West End, it's like they had a lot of hassle, a lot of problems. And all of the security on the doors there were tough guys, because they had to be, because of what happened there. And then one was out with a broken arm, and I was told to go and stand on the doors for an evening. I felt I spent half the evening just hiding under a table. Yeah, that wasn't good. I didn't enjoy that. Wasn't really my scene. Again, just like, nah. I knew all the lads that did it, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it, because you got a chance to, they got paid to have a punch up every weekend, every Friday, Saturday night. I mean, again, it's not really my thing, but I heard all the stories. And yeah, they got through a lot of staff as well. So yeah, it wasn't really my thing. I'm more sitting on a desk, being quiet, looking cute. Maybe not now, maybe then. I don't know if I probably never looked cute. I used to be cute when I was about 10 or 7. Yeah, up to going to high school I was cute, and then everything went wrong from there. But up to the age of about 11 I was cute, little and cute, and then, I don't know, just something changed. So maybe I'll talk about that one day. Yeah, that was a weird... Yeah, I had some weird jobs there. But I used to go to sleep on the night shift. The problem is they used to have what would they call it? Patrol, or the person, the mobile guard, who used to come around in a car and check all the different sites to make sure we was all awake and everything was okay. And in an emergency, we could call them and they'd come to us, So they'd come in and they'd have a little thing, ding, so they could prove that they'd been working as well. And they had to fill a form in and all that stuff. Blimey. This is quite a long time ago now. Nearly 30 years ago. 28 years ago. And, 29 years ago, because 2006 I started doing that. Around this time. It'll be April. Yeah, it'll be soon. What's it now? March. Can you believe it's the 18th of March already? Nearly the end of March already. Blimey. In the printing place, I used to go to sleep where the lifts were. And so I think I took a sleeping bag with me once, but I had to squeeze it to my bag. So it didn't really work, so I didn't bother with that. There was another place who worked as a security. I forgot about this place. It was huge office block just around the corner from Liverpool Street Station, and there was always more than one of us on the reception. Usually at least 2 people on the reception, and it was a big block. We used to go up and have to turn all the lights off, and yeah, I don't know what they did in there. It might have been multiple companies, but it was a big old place. Huge reception. Like, I don't know if you've never been to London, and I'm not saying that nowhere else is like this, but I've never been anywhere like this where they had such huge receptions as they do in the city of London. Now, I spent a decade walking past these buildings, sometimes going in them, but just seeing how huge they were, like with the escalators and almost unnecessarily big spaces. And it's probably the same everywhere in the world. It's probably maybe the same in every city of this country as well, but I've just not lived in every other city. And this was the same. It's like huge reception area. I mean, you could literally fit probably 400 people standing up just in that space between the door and the reception. Probably 500 people standing up next to each other. Like huge, like unnecessarily. Why? Why is this so big? You'd think they'd make use of it, just go forward a bit and make use of all the backspace, and I don't know, have a canteen or like sell sandwiches or something. But yeah, we used to take turns to go to sleep. In fact, we might have actually had 3 people working there. So we'd take turns, and there was one floor which had a settee, and there was no camera on that part of the thing, so we knew where all the cameras were. So we'd lay down on the settee and go to sleep. We have a radio, so they'd call us when we needed to come. So if the patrol, or whatever they were called, the mobile people came to check on us, they'd say, "Oh, where's Robbie?" And they say, "Oh, he's on patrol. He's doing patrol in the building." And then they'd say, "Okay." And so I'm going to go, "Do you know where he is?" So I think he's on 4th floor or 100th floor, I don't know. And then they'd like, "Jason," or "Bobby," "Robbie," "Stevie," whatever. Sometimes they'd forget my name. Wake up. And just get up, get dressed, and carry on like patrolling. It was great. Although I remember some of the staff in that particular office used to complain about some of the smells that were there when they got in the morning. Lavender, what was a spit there? Lavender is often touted I can't even say the words. Lavender is often touted for relaxation, but research suggests that the smell of peppermint can also calm nerves and reduce stress. Yeah, because I studied, blimey, I studied aromatherapy for a while. It's true, I'm not making this stuff up, it's true. And I had the oils, and I used to mix stuff together, and I like lavender, peppermint, yeah. The one that I like the most, maybe not the most, but one of the ones I like the most is, what's that thing that Jesus got as a gift? Gold, frankincense. I don't know what myrrh is. Frankincense. Didn't even know what frankincense was until I did know what it was. Oh, I love the smell of frankincense. Absolutely. And I used to make oils that were very relaxing. I made some for my dad's piles. I made some for my nan, for her shoulders and stuff, because she had some chronic pain and stuff. I made some for myself. I actually used to sprinkle some on a hanky and take it to work with me to try and calm me down and be relaxed while I was at work. People complained about the smell. Mind you, people were complaining about my smell before I even started doing that. So, frogs, sometimes some frogs can lower their metabolic rate so much during hibernation that they essentially pause. Yeah, I've heard about that. That's the thing, but hibernation is... Does it say hibernation there? Yeah, hibernation. When animals hibernate, they almost... I mean, it's the most relaxed, really, that they could be. It's like, it's almost... a few heartbeats a minute or something. It's like, wow. Chicken soup for sleep. Hot soup, especially chicken soup, is a traditional relaxation remedy in many cultures. There's no magic ingredients. Oh, okay. I know it's quite an old thing to have when someone's feeling a little bit under the weather. Oxytocin, known as the cuddle hormone, is released during hugs. So, okay. I don't have hugs, so I don't know. Can't remember the last time I really had much in the way of human contact. I gave Vinny a hug the other day, but he let me because he was worried about a dog, so he let me pick him up. Oh no, there was that, and also when we got on the bus. Yeah, he doesn't like buses. A quick daydream session can lower stress hormones. That makes sense to me, because I do. I mean, a daydream session, as long as you're daydreaming about something nice, and scientifically, psychologically, brain-wise, it has been proven that when you imagine something, the brain doesn't really know the difference. So if you imagine feeling relaxed, then you're more likely going to feel relaxed than if you were actually relaxing, or just the same. You know, so I guess it depends on how good your imagination is, I guess. But if you imagine, if relaxing on a beach is something that is particularly calming for you, then by imagining yourself relaxing on a beach can have almost the same reaction in your body, because your mind technically doesn't know the difference between what we imagine and what is real. That's why what we think about has such an impact on our lives. Stress, so think about nice things. Stress fighting laughter. Laughter floods the body with endorphins, which reduce stress and improve mood. It's basically an internal spa treatment. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if you go to a comedy show or watch a comedy show, or what, you feel good, don't you, afterwards? Or you feel good during, you feel good afterwards if you had a laugh. It's nice. It's very healthy. I remember hearing an old story. It's years ago when this man was he had a serious condition which had been, diagnosed as being as serious as it could get. And he decided to spend pretty much all his days watching comedy. And he actually recovered. So he spent he was watching stand-up comedy and comedy shows, and just ignored the rest of the world. And he actually became better. In medieval Europe, it was common for people to carry around small talismans or worry beads to handle anxiety. Well, they're still used. I mean, when I was in Buddhism, I mean, in different religions, they have beads where maybe with tantric or with repeating the same mantra and just like sort of beads to count it, or just maybe counting your breath, or just focusing on how each bead of the necklace, or the whatever you want to call it, pearl necklace, it's counting each pearl on the pearl necklace and just feeling it and noticing how it feels can be calming. In the same way of just noticing how your shoulders feel in the moment, or how your eyes feel when they're closed, Oh, that's a nice little drink you have in there. A cat's purr vibrates at a frequency that can promote healing and relaxation. Yep, I'll agree with that 100%. I remember in 1997, I was going through a very difficult time emotionally, and I moved into this place and there was a cat there. And the cat took a shine to me. They had a few cats, but one particular cat is a ginger cat. I've always got on well with ginger cats. I nearly said the wrong thing then. I really, I like ginger. I mean, look, I've got a ginger dog. I like gingers. And this cat would walk up and down my back. It was weird because I was standing up. Oh dear. Scratch the hell out of me. No, I'd be lying on my bed and just like walking up and down and purring. And honestly, it's almost like the cat knew that I needed something. So it was lovely. Knitted. Studies show, and I know about this, studies show knitting can induce a relaxed state similar to yoga. I used to work with someone when I was a counsellor. She was a counsellor, and I think she ran a knitting group. Like a knitting group. I mean, and it is very much, it's probably a social thing as well. And I remember my nan used to knit. Yeah, my nan used to be a knitter. She used to knit while she was watching TV and all kinds of stuff. And she was very often extremely relaxed. Weirdly, some people find the smell of coffee relaxing. Not really. Wouldn't probably go with that one myself, but each to their own. I mean, we've all got things that smell nice, don't we? I mean, yeah. We're all just so different sometimes, yet so similar. In regions known as blue zones, places where people commonly live past 100, never heard of that before, daily relaxation routines like afternoon naps or leisurely social meals are common. And apparently siesta equals longevity. I don't know if that's what it really means or it's just what they're saying. I have afternoon naps. I have mid-morning naps. Sometimes I actually stop napping so I can have a nap. Leisurely social meals, okay. Strange sauna customs. In Finland, business meetings often happen in saunas. I don't know anymore. Yes, I do actually. Oh, okay. It's not saying anymore, just that. Okay. While goldfish are rumoured to have 3-second memories, they can actually remember things for months. I mean, I'm not being rude to goldfish. Okay. I'm not. I mean, any goldfish listening or watching, just please forgive me. I'm not anti goldfish. I'm really not. I don't go that way. I'm all about peace and equality. However, to any goldfish watching or listening, yeah, you can remember things for months. I believe that. You've not got a lot to remember though, have you? To be honest. I mean, a little arch, which you can, maybe a little castle. Oh, there's a castle and you can swim through it. You can remember that the food's at the top so you can eat that. And remember not to eat the stuff that comes, the long stringy stuff. Don't eat that. Eat the stuff, the flaky stuff at the top. What else is there to remember? That's literally the whole routine, the whole day. Yoga's been around for over 5,000 years, originally created to help ancient sages sit comfortably in meditation. Isn't it interesting? So yoga's been around longer than any of today's religions. Ooh, that is interesting. Well, maybe not any of today's religions, but any of the main ones. I thought yoga was Hindu. Maybe Hinduism's been around for 5,000 years. Yeah. World record bubble bath. The largest bubble bath on record has thousands of people soaking simultaneously. In one bath. One bath. I'm getting this right. Well, first of all, how could you have thousands of people soaking simultaneously in one bath? How would they get a bath big enough? I mean, if you did it in an Olympic-sized swimming pool and decided to call that a bath, maybe put a handle on each side, some taps. I mean, it still wouldn't hold thousands of people, would it? Well, a lot of them. But where would they go? Because once you're off the edge, where are you going to just try and sit up, and it's not really a bath, is it? I feel I need to do a little bit more investigating. Anyway, oysters and clams spend most of their lives relaxing and with minimal movement. Sitting on the beach, literally just vibing. It feels sad then, doesn't it, really? Because they just relax in most of their lives and then... Aristotle's walk and think. So the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle taught while walking around. Perhaps a moving lecture was more relaxing than a stiff classroom setting. Or he didn't like sitting down because he had piles. Maybe. Could be true. Zebras don't get ulcers. According to a famous stress researcher, Zebras, or you may wrongly call them zebras, but zebras don't stay stressed once a threat is gone. They go back to grazing. Yeah, that's a pretty good skill to have if you can relax very easily and go back to being calm almost straight away. I've met a few humans like that, not many. It's usually the other way around though. They can be from calm to. Hot chocolate isn't just tasty; it contains magnesium, which can help muscles relax. I do like hot chocolate. I haven't had any in decades. But it's weird because I can almost smell it. It might just be one of the neighbours is drinking hot chocolate. Shinrin Yoku in Japan, aka forest bathing, involves soaking up nature's atmosphere with no agenda. That's just chilling out, isn't it? That's just relaxing in a forest. I used to like doing that. Because trees have been around, the big trees have been around longer than anyone's that's on this planet, that's currently alive now. You know, the big trees have been around hundreds and hundreds of years, some of them. And I think you've got to have a bit of respect for something that's been around a long time. That's about as serious as I can get about trees, sorry. Yawns can be contagious even through phone calls. I know that. I used to do that on the phone calls when I was talking to people. Even talk about it makes me yawn. See? Just remembering something or imagining something like that can give you the feeling there and then, which means imagine being relaxed. Remember feeling relaxed. A snail rather, I can't see with my eyesight, a snail once famously spent nearly 3 years asleep. I don't remember hearing about this, do you? That's next level snoozing. How would they even know that? I mean, first of all, if you look at a snail, how would you know if it's awake or asleep? I mean, it could be awake and sleepwalking. Hedgehogs, it's weird, but they move fast. They don't move slowly. Hedgehogs, they stay still. But as soon as you take your eyes off them, like really fast. Amazing. I know we're not talking about hedgehogs. Wacky sleep pods. Some airports now have sleeping pods where you can pay by the hour to catch a nap between the flights. I did see some of that stuff a few years back, but they weren't. I don't think they were sleep pods. They were just like beds that you could sleep in or lay down in. I'm not sure if they were sleep pods. Stress-busting board games. Playing cooperative board games is shown to reduce stress hormones. I don't know. I mean, the last time I played games really was when I was a kid with my brothers at home, and that was never relaxing. Monopoly, Cluedo, Snakes and Ladders, or anything was never a relaxing experience with them. But I'm sure it can be. I'm sure it's, yeah. For centuries, worry beads have been used in Greek culture. I bet they have. That's the same as what we were talking about before, though, isn't it? Beads. Chocolate bath. Chocolate bath got my attention. In some spas, you can book a chocolate bath to relax while literally soaking in cocoa. That's got to cost a fortune, though, because chocolate is not cheap, is it? Imagine enough cocoa, enough chocolate to cover my body. That would cost thousands of pounds, probably. I've never tried it. I've never tried to melt down that much chocolate to fill a bath. But I'm just thinking, it's a lot of chocolate. You know, just imagine melting. It wouldn't stay melted long enough. Even if it melted like a saucepan at a time, or 4 saucepans at a time, using all 4 hobs. Maybe even using a microwave at the same time. You pour it in, but they're only going to it's going to set before the next lot are ready. I suppose unless you added hot water, so maybe it wouldn't settle if you put it into hot water to start with. I don't know. Quokka's Eternal Smile. So quokkas, I don't know if I'm spelling that right or pronouncing it right rather. Small Australian marsupials appear to smile all the time, which makes tourists melt. Oh, cool. I think I know. I thought that was sloths. A sloth's heart rate can drop down dramatically when they're hanging upside down. Similar to how deep breathing calms their own heart rate. You know, when you just when you relax, just breathing becomes deeper naturally. And everything kind of slows down. Sighing, the power of sigh. Sighing resets your breathing rhythm. It's like the body's quick refresh button, which also reduces tension. Counting sheep origin. So the phrase counting sheep for sleep possibly dates back centuries. Shepherds who spent long nights watching flocks found themselves dozing off. Did they still get to keep their job? Mind you, I suppose shepherds are pretty self-employed, aren't they? NASA found that a 26-minute nap can improve pilot performance by 34%. Astronauts basically have official permission to snooze on the job. Blimey. I mean, I've never tested that out, but then I've never been a astronaut. Moose can stay still for hours to conserve energy. Look at them in a meadow. I can't, I don't have a meadow. Basically practicing advanced doing nothing meditation. You sure they weren't just not asleep? Because some animals can sleep on their feet, can't they? I've known a few people like that. Winnie the Pooh approach. Pooh Bear's thoughtful spot is an early example of mindful relaxation in literature. He sits and hums away stress, usually related to honey. Okay, chewing gum can reduce cortisol levels. So next time you're stressed, pop in a piece of chewing gum and pretend it's a spa day for your jaw. Okay. Camels can endure extreme desert conditions with a very steady heart rate. Maybe that's how they stay chill, trekking miles in scorching hot. Should we say stay relaxed, stay chill? I've never used, I know I said it earlier, I just never used that expression. I'm chill. I don't know, just weird. Groovy, I use groovy. And chill is only like an expression like chill out, man, like from the 60s. So it's an old expression, just used a little bit differently. Gazpacho to cool down. Spaniards have used chill gazpacho soup to relax in hot weather for centuries. It's a tasty heat buster that soothes the soul. I've got no idea what it is. Chilled, so it's a soup. I don't know what a gazpacho is. Is it like a nut, peanut or something? Scooby-Doo nap origins. The idea of taking a Scooby nap, short comedic nap, stems from the show's frequent comedic rests. Not sure if that's canon, but it's a fun excuse for a break. I've never heard of a Scooby nap. I've heard of a Scooby snack, but a Scooby nap? No, not heard that before. Laughter yoga is a real practice combining breathing with forced laughter until it becomes real laughter. Sound weird, but it reportedly releases a tidal wave of endorphins. The thing is, I'm not sure if I ever tried it. I might have done. Yes, I've done a lot of weird things over the years. But I imagine if you're in a room with 20 or 30 complete strangers, I imagine you're going to want to laugh at something. There's going to be something that's going to be quite funny to laugh at. Just the idea of everyone being there to fake a laugh, to force laughter. The concept's funny in itself, really, and then the fact that it's people you don't even know. So there's awkwardness, which I don't know about you, but sometimes that causes me to want to laugh inappropriately. So yeah, I can see. Yeah. I think I did try it once. Long time ago. Warm baths raise your body temperature slightly. When you cool down afterwards, it signals your body it's bedtime. Some glowworms glow brighter when they're well fed and relaxed. A bit like me. I just glow all the time anyway. Humans might glow too. Yeah, it's called being pink. Penguin huddles. I just remembered something about penguins right now. Penguins huddle for warmth. In Antarctica's frigid climate. Yeah, that's what frigid means, isn't it? Like really cold. I forgot about that. I've not used it in that context before. It actually means really cold. Okay. Effectively creating a giant group snuggle. Okay, I don't think being bubble gum pink. The colour Baker Miller pink, aka drunk tank pink, was once believed to calm aggression. Some prisoners tried painting cells that colour to reduce stress. Results were mixed. Oh dear. Slow TV phenomenon. Oh, I get this. This next one makes sense. This is kind of what I do, really. In Norway, people watch hours of train rides or knitting on slow TV for relaxation. No plot, no jump scares, just mellow real-time events. And in a way, that's what I do with this podcast. I just talk for an hour or so about stuff, and there's no magic tricks, there's no tightrope walking, no lion taming, No bungee jumping. Just be talking about things. Yeah. Apparently, a bag of frozen peas on the forehead can relieve sinus tension and apparently help you look chill during a meltdown. They got a thing about looking chill and feeling chill on this ChatGPT. Let's have a look. Elvis Presley reportedly had a jungle room filled with exotic decor for relaxing between performances. The smell of coconut can slow the heart rate, so that's nice. Candle gazing, that's another way to relax. Bathrobes, apparently they trace back to the Middle Ages when fancy folks wore morning gowns for comfort. You know what, I need to start doing that because I haven't had a dressing gown for years. I gave both my dressing gowns to my neighbour, and I quite like one. The thing is, I can't have it tight. I don't like tight stuff. So it's going to have to be like super large just so it can be flowing. You know, just nice and relaxed. I don't like constriction. Just like to be able to be loose. It's nice, loose, relaxed. Scalp massage bliss. An old tradition in India, champi. Head massage. I didn't know it was called champi. Is so relaxing that people have been known to doze off mid-mentage or massage. It's also where the word shampoo comes from. Okay. Waterfall white noise. So natural white noise like waterfalls and waves is said to lower cortisol. I agree with that. It's something listening to the waves on a beach or listening to the wind, listening to the rain, anything like that. I like the sound of nature, and don't always want to be out in it if I'm honest, but I do like the sound of it. I find it very relaxing. Yeah. And on that note, I'm going to go and have something to eat because I'm hungry. Need to eat. Eat, yum, 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 yum. So that's the end of this here recording. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please remember to be kind to yourself because you do deserve to be happy. Lots of love. Bye.